I do a long overdue update on the GTO. Last you would have saw from it on the channel was it getting its engine, and I kind of left it halfway through that. But then when I come back, it was just gushing it down. It was the middle of winter, so I just kind of got on with it and forgot to film. So apologies for that. It's a bit reluctant of me to pick it up from here because it's just been such a long gap, but whatever, it's a nice day. I may as well do something. I'm only doing some odd sorts of jobs. So basically it's been on the road now for 2 months. I've done a few thousand miles on it, quite happy with it. It's going well. Nothing major to write home about. It's been okay. So now that the engine's past its sort of initial worry stages where I thought, is it going to be okay? Is it going to, blow up? Because obviously it was an unknown engine. My last engine didn't last more than 1,000 miles, so I was a bit, what's the word? Hesitant about whether these engines are up to much. So it's okay, it's been on the road a while now. So now it's time to start turning my attention to the bodywork, because it's no secret, the bodywork on this isn't just a shambles really. Some smart ass Chinese kid had it and he just started painting things gold on it. All the little accents he was doing gold. And I don't know why. Isn't just in no way a good look. So I'll just turn around. So I've just gone ahead and removed the spoiler. So stuff like the spoiler, this is meant to be this colour, this sort of charcoal grey. The spoiler, that area, up the sails, the mirrors were, the strut top covers were, I believe this was, and the headlight covers. And then again the moustache. I've already painted the moustache in the relevant dark charcoal colour. You're catching me in the middle of doing a thermostat change, or should I say thermostat fit, because that explains why it didn't ever run hot or normal temperature. It didn't have a thermostat, it was just blanked. So I've gone ahead and fitted one. It should run now at the reasonable temperature. That might have done it for the summer, but in the winter that I've been driving it, it's just been running so cold all the time. Half the time it's not even registering it that it's even showing temperature, so it's just been really cold the whole time. Anyway, so a lot of the paint, other than what the guy done gold, like stuff like this, where it's just been touched up, but simply just by going, it's just bizarre what someone's done in the past. Like along here, you can see spray. I think they were doing this, which has obviously been chipped and whatnot. But they've just gone really lazily and gone buzz like that, and you can see it on the door. There's something there. Someone had a Mondeo V6 badge here, which needs to be, it's just a lot, and like overspray. And then on the filler cap, which is really poorly painted, I believe that was gold as well. The next guy after the Chinese guy has just gone, nah, not having the gold, even the wheels. And they've tried to touch it up into the colour it is, but as you can see here, this is the car colour and this is the overspray colour, and they don't match. And I know silver's a nightmare to match. I've personally just painted the other half's Focus ST170, and that's got silver paintwork, and it's just a nightmare to match the bumper to the rest of the car. It just goes without saying. But I don't think they tried. So they've masked here. You can see where the tape was. They've buzzed this. But I don't mind. I've locked it. I got a problem with my door where it just keeps repeating like that. I tend to lock it where I can. Sometimes it goes off when I put the key in. So if I pull the release, as you can see, it's literally two 10 mils. This was such an easy part to take off, and it's something I'm actually going to do now. So for someone to just mask the area badly and get overspray all up, like fades off to about here, it's just bizarre. It's just such a poor effort of paint. If you're wondering if I'm up to any better, I don't know. But this is something I've painted, and it's the right colour. It wasn't colour matched, it was just ordered on eBay, because I wanted it in a can. However, it's far better. It's the colour it's meant to be. So now I've got to take the mirrors off, take the headlight covers off, spoiler I've just taken off. and the filler cap. They'll be painted off the car because it's better to have them in the house and dry. This area, I need to rub it back a bit more. I've got it down, but it's still a bit lumpy. I'm undecided where I'm going to take the sails off because this needs painting. But then they've had like this dragon sticker here. Did I mention he was Chinese? He has left it on for so long, it's marked, the black. I've rubbed it back so it's smooth, but you can still see the evidence of it. So obviously these are going to need painting black as well. So I feel like I should take them off, but I'm sure that involves taking off the B-pillar trim, which is quite large. It goes right the way back into the boot. So I'm a little reluctant to do that. I don't know if I just want to mask up the outside instead. Quick touching upon on the inside. That same guy had painted every accent in here red. So this kick plates, ashtray, this little dish, this, these, and again on the other side, all of it bright red. I'll put up a picture. Awful, and this was awful too. Now, keen-eyed, you might notice that is a banging retro head unit. That wasn't in the car when I've been driving it. I've just put this back in because my Android Auto unit has just died on me. I've got two identical models and they've both died, so I'm really quite annoyed by Pioneer with that because one didn't even last a year. I bought it for this. This obviously spent a month on the road before it come off, doing 1,000 miles. Then I put in my Mrs. Focus. She drove it for about 6-7 months. It was laid up for a further month and it's died. It's honestly just not good. Two of them have died. My one that I had in my ST, that lasted 3 years, but they've both died in the same way. The screen goes all white. I'll put a picture in. Other times it'll work, but it won't connect to Android Auto. Just really, yeah. So I've gone old school. I got a tape deck. It's got a CD player. Really cool. This came with it. I believe that's a Chinese one because the frequency is really not ours. I did turn that on. No. So if I go on to, well, it is. I kind of struggle to see with the sun. 86.2, which is a little bit lower than we tend to go, but it does go lower. It goes well into the 70s. We don't go that low. And then it starts off. A station! That's the only station I've ever been able to pick up. It does go up to just about 90. So I think that's a Japanese head unit. It's proper cool and retro. I did misplace it. And we found it the other day, so I've chucked it in. And I'm probably going to leave it in. It's really retro. I can get a Bluetooth adapter for the radio. Hopefully it'll go to that frequency. I think they're on 87.9, something like that, so it should work. And then I'll have Bluetooth and all that, because I'm not spending another £350 on an head unit just for it to break again in a year or two. It's just not good, is it? Yeah. So anyway, yeah. I'm also in a bit of a state where the clutch tends to go soft all the time. And I don't know why. It's just repeatedly gone soft before, and it's doing it again now. To the point where I've replaced the slave cylinder, but the master cylinder might be the problem. I don't know. Because it's done it more than once. So I'm going to just give it a bleed. I've got some airline from a fish tank. That's not quite going on the nipple. I've got this straw from a drinks cup. I haven't got a bleeding kit with me. Hoping that will go in. And then I'll go plop that in there, and then I got some brake fluid that I can do a little bleed. Hopefully it works, because it's just really the bottom couple of inches, and then it doesn't have anything up the top. Yeah, so I'm going to paint, and get it ready, because it's going to a show on Saturday. And God, it looks weird without a spoiler, doesn't it? yeah, so it's going to show on Saturday, so I want it ready for that. Um, and it's his first show too, so I am trying to make a bit of an effort. It's not going to look amazing, but it's going to look better than it certainly was. I said to the missus, pick a colour for my wheels, and she went red. And I was like, I could do a candy red. She said, do it. So I thought, all right, caution to the wind, I'll do it. I've done one wheel. I'm really not sure I'm going to get any more done in the time frame I've got. Uni's a bit heavy at the minute as well, so I've done the one. It's come out really nice, and I think I like it. It's a bit dirty. And then meanwhile, the ball joint had come out when I was transporting it one day, and it knocked the arch off, and it's damaged it. Obviously, it's not looking great. I will replace it in the future, but they don't come up often because the first generation was different to the others. So you have to get a 91 to, well, a 1990 to a 93. So I've just kind of self-tapered it on. This had a stitch repair, so I've put some filler over there. I need to sand that back and give it a bit of a paint. Yeah, there's a lot of odd jobs on this car that he's doing. This is where it got broken into. I done a hasty repair just to get it sealed and get a handle back on it. Ideally, it wants a good respray, but that's just not in my student budget at the minute. So, a new day. You catch me at my parents'. We are doing some paintwork. I say we, my father buggered off, got bored. So, headlight covers, like I was saying before, strut top covers, the scuttle there, wing mirrors. Down by here, there was a bit of a damage I told you about where they come apart. I've sanded back the bit of filler. It's kind of going okay. Obviously, I can't get away from the fact it's been hit. There's a bloody crack in it, but there we are. I'm trying to make the best of the bad situation at the minute. It's something I will replace in the future. In case you're wondering, the difference between the generations is here. That's got the slats, more like a Ferrari, where later ones, this is a plain old aqueduct. It follows that line, it goes like that, and I think there's two slats. That's more Ferrari-esque. So obviously got to find the right one. But the main bulk I've already done is here. So this was all gold. Whoever tried touching it up in the past, like areas like this, oh shit, that is unbelievable. Whoever sprayed stuff like that didn't bother doing this. Obviously, you didn't want to mask all the glass. Which, to be fair, I commend. I'd rather not have to take back 2 layers of paint. I have removed the wiper because a coupe like this just doesn't need them. I tend to remove them from my coupes. Hell, I've even removed it from my Focus ST, which, in hindsight, probably could have done with one. So at this point, I've sprayed that, obviously. I've kind of cut the recording to the end. I've just given the headlights a bit of a rub down. Now, you might be thinking, why are you removing it? Because, just tuck that wire back in. When you take this off, there's screws holding the metallic lid. They're all corroded. So I'd be trying to get new nuts, new bolts for them and stuff. And to be honest, they don't need to come off. I'm happy enough to just mask. I do a better job and it'll dry a bit better, but this car will be having a respray in the future when I'm more on my feet, out of uni, etc. So for now, just making it all colour matched is my goal. Probably be doing this with a bit of wet, shouldn't I? See the gold coming through? And the guy that used the silver just grabbed anything off the shelf. He obviously couldn't be bothered to try and find out what it was. To be honest, you have to order it. You can't get it off the shelf, obviously. This is not a car you're going to find common. I don't know if any other Mitsubishi shared it, but there we are. It's called Grey Silver. I can't remember the code, H74 I believe. It's written on the bulkhead just underneath the bonnet. It's the only silver they did for the GTO, so you shouldn't be far off when you're searching it, if that's what you're doing. Let's give it this big fat run by you. It's so thick I'm going through the gold rather than the actual run. Cool. So I'm just going to do the headlight covers for today. And obviously the black around the back of the windscreen. and then touching that up silver there. I'm not under any illusion that's not going to look amazing, but as long as it's the same colour and you can't see a massive plastic welding going on, I'm happy. Look at that. I've actually gone through to the original silver, which obviously matches the bumper. So I've gone through silver, gold, and then down to the actual, I think the gold guy primered it. There's a bit of primer there. I'm aware this episode's probably getting on a bit now. Don't know why I'm calling it an episode like I'm a director of Suits, but there we are. It's now moving on to the Focus. We got to weld a hole in the wing because, well, we couldn't find a wing in time and she just wants it covered up, so I'm going to do a bit of a patch repair. I mean, it's a nasty hole when you look at it like that, but at the end of the day, it's very standard for these cars. They just simply rust because there's a bit of foam in there that holds the water and the mud. It is starting to go over there, so you're probably thinking, why are you even bothering? But, you know, that's what she wants, and she wants it ready for tomorrow. The bumper's back on, it's looking good. I haven't mopped it back yet. I feel like doing it today, but I've just had it washed, so I don't want to get that all over the place. I don't know what the hell that is. Some bugs blowing up on my bonnet. So at this point I'm just doing the wipers because these are quite past it. I just casually asked in Halfords how much it is to top up an aircon if the aircon is actually kind of still working, and it's over £100, and you got to do it yourself. £100 for a recharge that's probably not going to be as good as taking it to an actual garage. I can't get my head around that. It's like £69 in most garages. So I don't know why anybody would do that. They can't sell a lot of them. They really can't, like. It's just bizarre. And then I got me thinking to the fact that they just charge you for a bulb, or they charge you for, well, everything. Even what I'm doing right now. And they, from when I worked there, I know that they don't even give you training on any of it. So they just trusted that you can go out and do it. If you can't, they might come out and show you, or you can tell them, I don't know how to do it, and then they'll have someone else in the store come out. But it's like £3.50 or £4 a wiper, and I'm out here doing it one-handed. Granted, I'm not doing it very well right now. I should probably use my right hand. Right, let's do that. £4 for that. Today I've also got to paint the back wheels because they're still that grotty. I like the gunmetal, but obviously it hasn't lasted. They go black just like the rest. And I'll do the calipers at the same time. That's all I needed doing. So just the last bit of tidying up with the car now. And then we're ready for the show. And then the GTO still needs something doing. Again, left hand. We've had this clean now and it's looking pucker. Just nice, you know, just... The only thing I let it down is these stupid seats. I don't like them. I mean, even if that wasn't there, I just don't like them. These end caps come off, and that is actually an anchor for the seat adjuster. It can now just slide out, which is not great. And then you've got to do this to get it back in. And we got them, we put them back on, and they just come off again. Right, so that's wipers. So I better start tackling this really now. As for the GTO, it needs the spoiler painting. I forgot to bring it last time when I was doing the paint. Right, back is about set. I'm just peeling it off. Some people enjoy this peeling process, I believe. Alright. Well, that's certainly better than gold, isn't it? I was never going for a concourse job. I just wanted rid of the gold. I got a couple of the smears to clean up on along the edge. That's alright. The silver down here is coming along nice. Headlight covers. I'll remember to do the edges because they're quite gold on the edges. I could do with another bit. Now I got my spoiler to do and my fuel flap. I don't think I'm going to have enough. This can is getting a bit thin. Just peeling back the tape now. Then grab it. And then just a case of rub the overspray away. Because you don't want that, do you? And a lot of people forget. This is exactly the bloody situation that happened on the back near the filler cap. Yeah. Lovely. Now, I'm wondering if I can get rid of the old overspray from years ago with this. No way, it's just coming straight off. That's been on there years. So like I was saying, whoever painted the filler cap didn't bother to remove the cap, just started spraying. Now, they did mask something, but only a tape's width apart. Obviously, the spray goes further than that. Oh yeah. Not too shabby at all. That's just original paint then. Yeah, lovely. I need to give this a good buff. There's bits of sparks that have started to rust from when I was grinding back the weld. Don't know if there's any more on this to get rid of this. I can't imagine that's going to come off. It's actual spray paint. Still looks like shit, but we're getting there. Starting to get used to it without a spoiler. But there we are, we're getting there. I need to sand this back a bit with something like a 1200. Give it a good mop. I don't know. At least there's no more gold. Because I don't like the gold. That's not a bad colour match, is it? Obviously the Headlights are now cleaner. Yeah, alright. I think I'll about do it for today. It's probably been a long one by the time I stitch all these together. There's still a little bit more to do before Coombe. Obviously, like I said, rub that back, give it a bit of a buff, hopefully it can come out. I haven't got enough paint for the spoiler, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. I don't know. Maybe I just go without it for now. I think taped up holes look a bit better than bloody cruddy half gold spoiler. Anyway, and I might try and do this wheel before I go, so at least half the car's red wheeled. Yeah, it's not going to look amazing for its first show. I've had too much to do, uni work, Lisa's car as well. The SD170 needed that bumper spraying.